Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Streamer Showcase! Welcome, everyone, damn it, to the second episode of the Streamer Showcase. And the second episode had to be with the big homie, the man himself, the myth, the legend, Barron Von Chicken McCheese, aka Barron Von Baked Mac and Cheese, aka Barron Von Cheese. How are you today, my brother?
Oh man, I couldn't be better. Thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate being here.
Absolutely, man. How was the stream? You were streaming earlier.
Oh man, stream's always great. Stream is always fun. Stream's always, sometimes the lobbies get sweaty and it can affect the outcome of how everything's going, but I do my best to keep having fun.
Good, man, good. I gotta be honest, BarronVonCheese, not to blow smoke up this man's ass, not that he's on my show or anything like that, but BarronVonCheese is one of my favorite streamers. He's one of my favorite people. He's a very, very big inspiration to all of us. There's just a certain kind of positivity that this man just exudes, and he's all about peace and love and weed, and it gets
100%.
It gets no better than peace, love, and weed, bro. So I'm happy to have you on here, man. I have, and I didn't ask you this before, but I'm gonna ask you this live now, okay? I have the 15 questions, streaming and gaming questions that I'm gonna ask you. We are going to have the rapid fire speed round. Okay, it's going to be 15 rapid fire questions, and I have 5 bonus, edgy, rapid fire questions. Are you good with answering the 5 edgy questions?
Bring it on, bro.
Let's fucking go. Beautiful. All right, so we are going to start number 1, my good sir, BarronVonCheese. Here we go. What moment in your life made you want to turn on the camera and start streaming?
When I fucking found Twitch. I'm sorry for the language, but when I found Twitch, it was like, okay, I could do this. And I tried it and instantly was like, this is me. Like, it became part of who I wanted to become since I was little. You know, we always talk about like, you have dreams of being like a firefighter or a lawyer, a doctor, a surgeon, or an astronaut, or whatever your mega dreams are.
Sure.
Think back as far back as a child, right? I remember I used to want to be a radio DJ.
Nice.
That to me was like,
really?
That to me was like the dream job, to sit in a studio, to play music, to entertain, to talk, to keep people engaged and interested and listening. Like, that was always...
You'd be really good at that. You'd be great at that, dude.
Thank you. That was always like my dream job, right? I was the kid that had 2 boom boxes, cassettes.
Nice.
And I would play music on one and record myself on the other, so I could listen to myself as a radio DJ.
Wow. Nice, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, I would make my own mixtapes from the radio, and then I would play them back as music, and I would do voice commentary to introduce, to like segue between.
Really?
Yeah,
what?
I would listen to myself. I'd play it for my friends. I would do it with movies, bro. I would react to movies the same way.
Holy crap. Oh, dude, you would kill it on YouTube, man. Doing reaction videos and just straight up reactions. People love that shit, bro. They really do.
Someday I would love to be able to do that. I think it's just in my human nature to want to entertain. I just always wanted to be like, to make people smile, to make them laugh, to give them a moment of like good clarity of just being in the moment and letting go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just dropping all your insecurities, just be like that silly fucking child in your brain for like 5 minutes.
Right.
And let go of all of like society's stereotypes, let go of their standards, let go of any type of like
worries that they may have, right?
Any type of fear that you have,
right?
Like you're going to be judged. I want to give people that courage to just be their most authentic selves. And I think as long as I am what I would like to give, then I'm going to attract what I am.
One of the
So
best
that's my
pieces of advice that I got from, and it wasn't even directed toward me. I wanted to start streaming, but I was looking up some YouTube videos, of course, doubting myself, going through that whole stage before I really started, and trying to figure out what kind of content I wanted to put out. And I was watching a video and someone said, would do what you would want to watch. Become who you would want to watch, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
what I try to do, and you do the same thing, is I try to put forth something that as a viewer I know would be cool for me to watch. And you do that very, very well, sir.
Yo, the internet is such a gigantic place. Not just the internet is the world, bro. The world. You're not confined to your local area. You don't have to hustle dive bars. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to push flyers on the sidewalk. You don't have to go talk to people at bars to get them to come watch your show. The whole world is in front of you. And you're gonna find your people.
Yep.
Just be the most
You will.
authentic you, and whatever you're putting out as far as your energy, your attitude, your personality is what you're going to attract.
Yes.
You are, I believe this with, not everybody can believe this or not. That's okay. That's their own personal choice. I believe that whatever you put out is what you'll get back. I only want good people around me. So I'm going to have the most internal good intentions in whatever I do, because that's what I want back. I want genuine back. I want real. You know what I mean? I want those connections that when people wake up in the morning and I'm doing a 9 a.m. show, they're grabbing their coffee, they're sliding up in front of their...
They see that notification go off. It doesn't matter if they're in the car, they're clicking that noti because they want to see what's up. Bro, why do you think, for those of you who don't know, and this is not a flex on my part or anything, but this is how important that this man is to me and to our community. All right? What we ended up doing, me, Griffin, who was on the show last week, and Mrs. B, we ended up brainstorming and we put together a PC for this guy because of what he just said. You receive back what you put out. And the positive vibes that I've gotten for almost a year now from this guy made a decision like that an absolute no-brainer. And that's
amazing.
It's give and take, and we love to give, man, all of us. So yeah, man.
I think when you give without expectation, it's sweeter when it does come back.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's like a good savings account that you forgot about.
Right. Oh yeah.
You can't always check the balance. You'll be discouraged.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If you forget about it and let it go, you know what? It's gonna grow by itself. And
Agreed.
Then when you look back at it, you're gonna be like, man, look at what I did, and you can be proud of what you made.
Agreed.
Like, I think that's the whole purpose of it.
Nice, man. Nice. All right, let's move on. Number 2, in regards to streaming, where do you realistically see yourself in 10 years?
Oh, God, 10 years. 10. Oh, my. Well, if you would have asked me a year ago where I would seen myself in a year, it would have been a little further along than where I'm at now, if I'm going to be as, honest about it.
Let's go.
I am always manifesting success. So I'm always expecting that to come back eventually. Not watching the clock, because that's not how you get it back to you. But you have to keep putting out and have faith that that's going to come back to you. So I am manifesting partners someday. It's going to happen.
Sure.
It's just a check mark, I know, but it's a milestone on myself. It's a challenge for myself. It's a goal I've set for myself. So when I achieve it, it's gonna be a proud moment for myself, and I hope the community that helped push me there, and whether that takes 10 years or whether that takes 10 months, or if for whatever reason that takes the next 45 days, knock on wood.
Anything can happen. That's the thing with Twitch, man. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen, and I think I actually forgot what we were talking about.
No, and no, you
a little baked from my stream.
you pretty much answered it. Where do you think realistically you'll be in 10 years? So you see yourself, the goal, 10 years from now,
Yeah.
your partner, This is your main source of income.
Yes.
You don't have to want for anything. You have a core big audience that you know is going to come to the BarronVonCheese every single stream. Okay.
Yes, there's a lot of people that say they don't want that, right? Like that's not what they're here for. But
Sure.
In essence, that's why we're all here. Honestly, that's why we're all here. We want to succeed. We want to get to the point where we can do this full time as a source of income.
No one wants to stream for 5 viewers for the next 10 years. You don't, and you're kidding yourself if you say that. All of us, we're on Twitch not because we want to stream for 5 people.
For good intentions.
We're on Twitch not only for good intentions. We want to entertain. We want to bring happiness into people's lives, but we want to grow.
That's the job part.
We want growth and success.
We want the other stuff. We want the growth.
Sure.
I always say that that's the icing on the cake because it's your chat, your community, your fellow streamers are all the cake. You know what I mean? Like y'all are the cake.
Right.
And everything else, like the bits, the subs, the donos, the merch, everything else is icing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? The icing is amazing. Like it's great, but it's okay if you only have a little bit because the cake is still good. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The cake is still good. And that's how I look at it. Like I love the fact that I have the potential to make uncapped income with content creation. And I am far, far leagues away from where I envision myself in 10 years. But I'm going to keep focused and persistent and consistent and remind myself that it is a journey. It's a marathon. This is not a sprint.
Right.
For some people it is.
Yep.
For some people it is. They just happen to reach up and grab the right ticket. You know what I mean? And it brought them to where they were at.
I mean, you can get
from that point where they fall.
You can get rated or hosted by the right person, and it's done. But that just goes to show the luck.
Or one TikTok.
One TikTok. Perfect. Exactly.
It could be literally anything.
Exactly.
Literally anything. And that's why I always tell people like who are thinking about quitting, just don't, because it could be the very next stream.
Yes.
It could always be the very next stream. Yep. You wake up, you're like, I'm not fucking feeling it. Nobody's coming to my stream. I got 3 people. I've been doing this for a year or whatever it is. Don't give up, bro, because it could be that one time you chose to walk away from your PC or your console and not stream, that one moment could have been yours. That could have been your day.
Do you know how many times, not to talk about me because this is all about you, but do you know how many times that I have been streaming and maybe I was streaming for about 3 hours and I'm looking at chat and chat isn't going as fast as I would like it to go.
Right.
And I want to stop streaming and then I go and I get a BarronVonCheese raid or I get a soggy tissue raid or any raid at all. And new people come in and now, well, what does that do? Now that brings the life out of you again, which is why I don't like looking at my viewer count because I feel I'm the type of person where my brain easily discourages me. So
bro. That's such an easy rut to fall into.
Yup, exactly. I try to have all of that stuff blacked out. So whether I'm streaming for 3 people or whether I'm streaming for 30 people, I'm the same person.
Yes. 100%. And that's exactly the case. Anytime I'm over and I'm looking at chat, I always say that the chat is the lifeblood of a streamer. You are the energy. We're just like when you go to a concert, right? And you're watching the show, they're going to react the way the crowd reacts. I'm going to react the way chat's reacting.
Yeah.
Chat is hype and you're engaging. We're going to be engaging. Yep. We're going to be talking. We can narrate the game till we're blue in the face, but what separates us from being able to just narrate what we see on screen is to be able to interact with people who are interacting with us.
Right.
You know, like I see a lot of people who go into chat rooms and they say, well, I was ignored, so I'll never be back. Like you just missed a connection because you were entitled to a reaction. Like you were entitled to a response, no matter the situation. You know what I mean? And it's not going to say that that's it. That's the case for everybody. This is individuals, and I don't know any of them in particular, but it is. I would assume that it has happened because I've streamed for over a year.
Right. Of course.
And I don't know if they've come into my chat and left, but I've seen tweets, I've seen social posts about this situation where What was I saying? I lost my train of thought.
About people feeling entitled in chat.
Oh yeah. When they show up in chat and they're like, hello, and
Right.
then they just leave. Like this person's in intense video game focus. You know what I mean? This is what we do. We game and then we talk.
Right.
We game and then we talk. And there are certain games and certain moments in games where you can do both. And that's possible. But not everybody can do that.
Right.
Not everybody is going to be catching you as you blip in and then blip the fuck out. Could
Right.
you imagine walking into a room, wanting to meet Generico, walk into a room, stare at you, and then turn around and walk out because you were looking out the window at the time and you didn't acknowledge me when I walked into the room.
Right.
I waved, bro. Why didn't you say hi to me?
Some people,
Well, fuck it then. I'm
some
leaving
people
Generico's
just,
house.
some people are like that, man. That's that's the
So-
thing
so-
about streaming. You literally have the public coming into your chat, and everyone's different.
Everybody is different.
Right.
And that's okay. Like, I don't get upset when that happens.
Yeah.
I really don't get upset. But I try to, like, understand where they're coming from. You know what I mean? So that way I can sort of, I guess, cater my live streams to fit people who are that type of way to a certain extent without compromising who I am. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say
I'm not
that.
gonna
Yeah.
compromise my content. I'm not gonna and I'm the type that I'm gonna miss some shit in chat sometimes.
Yeah.
It's gonna fucking happen. Whether I have 10 people in chat or I have 10,000 people in chat, I'm gonna fucking miss things.
Of course. You're gonna miss a lot of things with 10,000
Right.
people in chat.
Yeah. It's
At
only
that
gonna get
point,
worse.
once you have 10,000 people in chat, you kind of glance over, you pick out one thing that's
You pick out one or
interesting,
two, you
and
do your
then
best.
you
I
just go off from there.
I just would like that other people would see that we're still doing our best.
Of
that
course.
Nobody is intentionally ignoring anybody. So if they see the podcast and they're like, wow, that does make sense. I shouldn't be an asshole and just get to walk out. I don't think you're an asshole if you do that. I really don't. Please continue to be who you are, the most authentic. If that's who you are, that's who you are. You're going to find your people the same way I'm going to find my people the same way Generico is going to find his people. That's how you do it. I love you anyway.
Number 3. What is the biggest challenge you face when it comes to being a streamer?
Understanding that there is no set time to achieve anything, right? And you can set a goal, like, for example, I will be partnered by the end of the year. Right? Like, let's say I said a lot of things when I started streaming. I didn't want to set any goals because I get discouraged when I don't meet my goals.
Same.
You know what I mean?
Same.
So for the longest time, I didn't have any goals. I started streaming February 16th, 2021 was my very first stream. And on December 29th, I decided I'm going to have goals for 2022. I had extraordinarily fast growth compared to this year than last year. Last year,
Why
I
do you
was
think
taken off.
you know what's very interesting about that, and I'm going to go off to segue off of that really quickly. Do you think, how can I word this question? Do you think it's bizarre that your growth came when you were streaming off of your PS4 versus how things may have not, things aren't going as quick now that you have you had your gaming laptop where you can customize and you can do more. Now you have access to OBS, so on and so forth. And things are a little bit, so I mean, you're still, when it comes to our core circle of streamers, you're kind of, when it comes to viewer count and when it comes to followers, you're pretty much up there. You're probably number 1 in our circle, right? So why do you think things were different when you were on streaming from a PS4?
I don't know. It's a very speculative question. What I wanted to say about that is that if I could put myself in somebody else's shoes and try to understand why I think that is, I think that a lot of people see that maybe I've made it to a certain level and they don't need to support me anymore. I did play Splitgate pretty intently for quite a bit, and then I just kind of shut it off like a light switch and went to Fortnite. And there's a lot of people that, regardless if they say they're there for the streamer or not, are really there for your game.
The old one game or variety streamer conversation.
Yeah, it's very hard to make it as just a variety streamer.
It is.
You know what I mean?
It's very hard.
That's why I wanted to do it. I could be a Splitgate main, or I could be a League of Legends main, and I could have pushed in that community. But I don't want to box myself in to any one particular game, because if I do that and then I switch, I'm going to lose like viewer count.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And that's fine, because when I made the move from Splitgate to Fortnite, unintentionally, it just naturally flowed that way, because I'm not married to any game. I just have to follow my vibe. But when I was averaging like 20 to 40 viewers organically on Splitgate, and then I went to Fortnite, and now I'm back down to like 13 and 14 and 9, and that's reminding myself that that's normal and that's natural and that's okay, and that's not a reflection of me as a content creator.
Right.
Is the struggle that I think a lot of people face in streaming. That's what frustrates people. They don't understand that just like an economy, it's going to go up and it's going to go down.
Yes.
It is never going to be the same, and it will never be what you expect it to be in the moment. It won't, because you want to see yourself succeed, and it's harder to watch other people get picked up on that fucking ticket. You know what I mean? And then realize that my time is coming. Just have faith that your
consistency.
Time is coming.
Consistency is the biggest thing. You know how many times that I've been sitting and I'll just perusing through Twitch, and I'll see people and I'll say, I'm a different kind of cat. Like I'm very kind of edgy, and just kind of, I have a chip on my shoulder. I do. I've had a chip on my shoulder for a long fucking time, and I can't get rid of it. But I try to use it, and I try to manifest it into something positive and push myself to do better. But it'll get to a point to where I'll go and I'll click on somebody who's streaming for maybe 65 people, and I'll look at them and I'll be like, I know I'm better than this person. I know my background is better than this person. Yeah. But you want to know what that person has over me? Most likely, consistency.
Consistency really is key. And the reason consistency is key is because you could literally be a potato streaming, and you will eventually find people who love to watch potatoes.
Yes,
fucking
that's
potatoes.
Correct. I found out really quickly my background doesn't mean shit. It doesn't.
I think it's awesome.
It's cool. It doesn't mean nothing, though. Not in the grand scheme of things. Like, do you know who Shroud is? The streamer Shroud. Shroud is one of the most popular.
Sorry, Shroud. Sorry, Shroud. I don't know you, but I would like to know you. Maybe we can make a connection. You can hit me up on my socials. I do a show on Twitch. You might have heard of me. My name is BarronVonCheese Shroud.
Shroud is one of the most popular streamers on Twitch. Shroud doesn't have a crazy background. Shroud, very monotone, not a very interesting person at all. Shroud, however, is a god tier gamer.
Asmongold sounds like Asmongold. I love Asmongold.
Asmongold's great.
TikTok videos. I love his outlook on life.
He's great.
Love his energy. I love the fact that you can look at his face and see that he's really meaning what the fuck he says.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like there's some people, Commence Danny, who's in our circle right now. She's got one of those faces that when she's talking, you feel what she's saying. She makes that connection. There's people that have that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I'm not saying that everybody doesn't have that. Everyone has it in their own way.
Yes.
That's why I'm saying, to be your consistent self, you're going to find people who love your most authentic, weird, and just...
Look at Tater Poop. Now there's someone else in our circle named Tater Poop. Tater Poop's growth. Now, for those of you who don't know, Tater Poop is someone who doesn't stream with a webcam like that. Like she started to kind of bring it like a webcam into her streams, but she doesn't really do it like that. She's streaming right now. She doesn't have a webcam. Do you want to know what Tater Poop has far better than a lot of people do? She has this voice that makes you want to listen.
Right.
Period. And it works.
And when she talks to you, and this goes for anybody, by the way, this is neither male nor female. When she talks to you, it makes you feel like she's literally talking to only you.
Yep. Like you're being, you feel included.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like it's just that magnetic, that it factor. You know what I mean? That they've talked about in show business for fucking years. Fucking decades.
Everyone has an it factor, but in their own way. And you have to find it.
Look at Bob Ross. Bob Ross painted oil painting.
Yeah.
This is the most fucking one of the most famous television oil painters, and he stuck with it. He was consistent. He found people that loved to watch him.
Yeah.
He didn't stop oil painting because people didn't watch oil painting.
And he wasn't Mr. Personality, but he was himself. He was genuinely himself.
Genuinely himself.
Yeah.
And he exuded a good vibe because he was like, we're just gonna paint some happy little trees.
That's it. Just a little happy blue with a little.
And maybe the wind just pushed this cloud over here and it brought a leaf with it.
Why is that such a good Bob Ross?
I'm telling you, Bob Ross was like ASMR for the 80s.
Yes, he was.
He was a lo-fi beat in an oil painting.
Yes, he was. You know what? I love that you said ASMR because that's gonna segue into another question that I had. I'm going down the list here, but here's a question for you. What's your take on bathtub and ASMR streamers?
Okay, here's the thing on that. Like, there's a lot of controversy when it comes to hot tub streamers, ASMR streamers, and gamer streamers, right? Like, we're all streamers. And the fact that anybody, in my opinion, would have any opinion other than a positive one towards hot tub streamers or ASMR streamers, and for me, is wrong. It's absolutely wrong.
Yeah.
I think those people should be encouraged the same way I want to be encouraged.
Right.
The same way Generico wants to be encouraged, or Commence Danny, or Evil Betty, or Griffin Gaming, or It's Jersey. Anybody who streams wants to be encouraged. So to not be encouraged is for somebody to literally say, out of 20 million people streaming on Twitch, to point at that one person and say, fuck that person.
Right.
That person's garbage. Why are they streaming on my
You sound
platform?
like you sound like a hater when you do that.
Yes, you're a hater. You are 100%
You're a hater.
because the people who are there in their channel are there for that content.
Yep.
You don't go on Google. Like, Google's not mad people are on Pornhub.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, not at all.
It's like that's where, because people are going to Google for things and people are going to Pornhub for specific things. They're there for specific hot tub streamers. They're not there to watch you play League of Legends or Sea of Thieves. They're there to watch pretty people in fucking hot tubs talking,
doing what they do.
That's
what
they love. Yeah. That's what they love.
You can't get mad at somebody.
Happiness. Yeah, as long as somebody's living in their own happiness, you shouldn't.
As long as they're getting their bag, bro. They're making their money. They're making it within the parameters of Twitch. Right. So how can you really hate? Like, I know there's the
even if they're not, that's their choice though. That's Twitch's job to moderate that. That's not my job.
That's right. That's a great point. That's a great point that you made. Like, we as male streamers, we can't. I've heard the argument where, oh well, because she's a pretty female, and I've made the argument too. Again, chip on my shoulder. I get salty very easy at things, but then I have to take a step back and I have to look at how I can be better myself. Why am I looking at someone like Amaranth and being like, I can't freaking believe that she's...
It's envy, bro.
That's stupid. That's dumb.
Envy.
What are you mad at?
We all want what someone else has.
Right.
I want that. I'm not gonna lie, I want that, but I don't want her community.
Of course not.
You know what I mean?
Because they're gonna want you to do ASMR.
Yeah, they're there to see.
Which I'm here for it. If you want to be Barron, if you become an ASMR streamer, I'm here for it.
If I decide to do ASMR, you'll be the first one to know, homie.
Yes. Yes. All right, here we go.
No, I just think a lot of people should just understand what they can control and what they should control. You know what I mean? Like, you should be in control of your own reactions, your own emotions, your own responsibilities. Like, that's it. If you have a channel and you're on streaming, your focus should be on yourself and your community, not anybody else's community. As soon as you feel negative towards another streamer, you immediately should recognize you're in the wrong.
Yep.
Immediately, no matter what their content is, unless it's like racist or like homophobic, transphobic, any type of that xenophobic shit, like any hateful nonsense, like I believe that should be called out and that should be shut the fuck down. But I think if somebody is not affecting you physically, financially, then you should mind your business.
Agreed.
I think a lot of problems would be solved by just simply minding our own business.
That's it.
Yep.
All right, let's see. Well, there's going to be the fifth question, but we're going in a crazy order because our conversation's so natural that I'm just picking and plucking. But let's see. In your opinion, what is the most satisfying thing about being a streamer?
Knowing that I'm making a difference. Knowing that, like what you said, like I gave you like insight to help quit smoking. Like, I'm never going to forget that. I'm never going to forget that. You know what I mean? Like, something I said made a positive impact on somebody's life. When somebody comes back and they tell me that, even if it's in chat or if it's in a DM or if it's a shout out on Twitch, like, as long as it's real and it's genuine, because believe me, I know the difference now that I've been doing this for so long, that when it's real and it's genuine and I feel that, like, that's the most satisfying.
Yeah, full transparency here. I used to be a cigarette smoker since I was 15 years old. I'm 36 years old now. BarronVonCheese is the reason why I stopped smoking cigarettes, because Barron said something to me about how we can very easily let our brain trick us into doing shit that we shouldn't be doing. Right. And I've said it a million times on my Twitch channel, so I won't go into it too much. But I caught COVID. I was outside. It was cold as fuck. And it was literally like 10 degrees outside with COVID. And I'm out there smoking a cigarette because I felt like, because my brain was like, motherfucker, get out there and smoke a cigarette. And in the back of my mind, I hear this guy. I hear Barron. And that was it. I was done. I crushed my cigarette. I threw it in the freaking garbage. And I haven't had one since. So.
Yeah, because you don't have to reward yourself for something you're trying to quit. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Our brain will always try to put us into a comfortable situation to relapse. They'll always tell you. The addiction is so slick.
It's a motherfucker.
So slick. As soon as you realize you're starting to think about going back to reward yourself, oh, I've been so good. I haven't had a cigarette in 2 days. That's the addiction telling you, come on back. Because you know, just like 100 million times before, if you decide to go back to it once, you might as well just go back to it full time.
Right.
It's going to happen. So as soon as you, like I was telling Generico, as soon as you realize that you can separate that enemy in your brain, the addiction is the enemy. As soon as you can separate that and identify it as an enemy, that it's going to try and use like your own willpower against you. It's going to try to use mental judo against you. That you can mental
judo.
You're gonna be able to put it in its box, and you'd be like, "Nah, motherfucker, you shut the fuck up. You are not gonna trick me into smoking this damn cigarette, because I know that that's all you want. You only want me to smoke, and I'm not gonna do that because it's counterproductive to what I'm trying to do."
It's easier said than done, but it is
easier said than done.
But it can be done. It can be done.
Right. It definitely takes practice. You got to really want to quit. You got to want to. You know what I mean? I tell people all the time, if you want to quit, you will quit. If you don't want to quit, you're not going to.
You're not going to.
If you go back to it, that's because you didn't want to quit.
Right.
You didn't want to.
Sure.
Because as soon as you realize that as soon as you pick up a cigarette, just using this as an example, and this applies to alcohol, hard drugs, anything you want to quit, any bad habit, as soon as you recognize that what you're doing is going to be better for you, and if you go back to that substance or behavior, that it's negative, whenever you want to go back to it, you just remind yourself that that's the addiction talking. That's not who I want to be. I don't want to be my addiction, so I'm not going to let my addiction win. So it's a fight every day. It's a fight every day. I haven't had a drink of alcohol since July 17th, 2015.
That's awesome.
Every day I catch myself at least once saying like, man, some whiskey would be nice about now. Some ice cold whiskey would be sweet. Some honey jack or gentleman jack or like a Yingling lager or a Black and Tan or a good stout.
Yeah.
Give me a porter, bro. We're done.
Yeah.
We're done. I can't go back to
porters
that,
and stouts, man.
I'm not the type of guy that can have just one or two. If I'm having one or two, I'm having 15.
Wow.
And then I'm buying everybody's drinks.
Was there a moment Was there a moment with the alcohol in 2015 where you were like did you wake up in the middle of the street one morning and you were like, fuck it, I can't do this no more? Like,
Oh man,
what
bro,
happened?
if I had a moment where I woke up and didn't know where the fuck I was, if I had a nickel for every time that happened,
Oh wow, yeah.
yeah, no, it happened a lot. Honestly, my rock bottom was I was going through a lot of shit in 2015, a lot of personal struggles. And it just seemed like the universe was crumbling down around me. So I just was like partying my blues away, homie. Like I was just trying to numb everything, not feel nothing. So I just binge drank every chance I got. And I did that for a long, long time, just for different reasons.
How much would you drink a day? Do you remember?
I have no idea, bro.
Was it
Depends
crazy?
on how hard I was going.
Okay, got you. Okay.
Which is normally pretty hard. I would try to stay consistent, but eventually I would just get drunk and say, fuck it, let's go blackout. So it was very easy for me to go from 0 to 60 with no real reason to do that.
That's why you can't even touch it now. If you have one, it's just gonna be a wrap.
Just like a cigarette. It's just gonna be just like a cigarette. I might be able to have just one this time, or maybe just two next time, or maybe just one the following time. But eventually, I'm gonna make enough excuses in my brain to just go back to drinking.
Right.
I'll just make enough, just like with cigarettes. I'll just make enough excuses for myself to just go buy a pack already. You know what I mean? I'm not going to buy them. I'm only going to bum them off friends. You know what? I'm only going to smoke when I drink.
Bumming turns to buying real fast.
Right. Yeah, so I came to a point where I got a DWI and I was arrested. And I got 2 alcohol-related incidences in New York State within 6 months.
Oh, wow.
And that's a big deal. And you're on a suspended license already, I had. So, they pretty much threw the book at me, bro. They threw the book at me, and I was sitting in the jail cell and holding, and I was like, I can't do this anymore.
That'll do it.
I can't live like this anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I want to drink and I want to party, and I can't do that shit and not be an asshole.
Right.
Because every time I was drinking, just because I wasn't caught doesn't mean that I wasn't doing reckless ass shit.
Sure. Right.
You know what I mean? I remember Betty and I went on a date, and I pretty much drank the whole bottle of Jack that was behind the bar, and then wanted to drive us to Denny's. I was all over the fucking road, bro.
Oh man,
that's not cool. That's not safe. That's not funny. You know what I mean? Like, I don't look back on that and laugh, and I think that's probably why it keeps me away from drinking, because I don't laugh at the things that are negative about myself. I want to laugh with happiness. I want to laugh with sincerity and with genuineness and from my soul. Like, I don't just want to, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to look at something that's negative about me or other people perceive as negative and then just like own it as a positive trait just because I said it is.
Right.
Like, I drink and I'm an asshole and I black out and I fight and I drive drunk, and that's cool. Because it's not. It's really not fucking cool.
It's not cool.
And the people that do that are just putting themselves and others at risk. And if you want to put yourself at risk, then that's your own personal choice. Like, go do whatever you want to do. If that's choice of drinking or drugs or weed or meth, whatever you want, as long as you're not affecting anyone else, I believe you should be able to do it. Just do whatever you want.
All right.
So I just had to, for myself, realize that I can't have one. I can't have one. I can't smoke. I can't do any of that shit.
You have an addictive personality.
Yes. Yeah, I tend to hyper focus on a lot of things.
Okay. So. Got you. That's why you smoke a whole fuck ton of weed.
Well, I smoke weed, number one, because I was given a medical marijuana card like 2 years before it was legal.
Okay.
So I had weed long before it was even like legal to have weed.
Okay.
And that's because I was a cancer survivor a long time ago. And I ended up having a portion of my right lung removed. Yeah, all that shit. I had a portion of my right lung removed. And look, yeah, we drop bombs, baby.
Let me tell you guys something. This is the reason why I wanted to do this. I want we go into people's streams and they portray what they want to portray, right? I like to a point of course, but yeah. I like to deep dive and find out what really gets people to tick. And I I just think it's very, very interesting. Last week we learned some stuff about Griffin. Today we are learning some things about Barron, and it's incredible. I didn't know that, brother. And congratulations, number one, on surviving that cancer bitch. Okay, and making it out, and still having such. When life throws so much shit at you, it's hard to have a positive outlook going forward. And I swear to God, brother, you are one of the most positive people that I know. With everything that life has given you, you still push forward that positivity, and it affects other people. It really fucking does, dude.
You know, my motivation for doing that is because I've been where they've been. You know what I mean? Like, I felt what they felt. I've been sad. And I don't want anybody else to feel what I felt. So I'm going to do my best to like pull people up out of that rather than just let them sink by themselves. You know what I'm not a person that just because I had to struggle through it, that other people got to struggle through it. Because I had to learn the hard way, now other people have to learn the hard way. No, if I know the cheat codes to some game in life, bro, I'm sharing those fucking cheat codes. If I know where the Easter egg's at, I'm going to tell you where the Easter egg's at. If it works for you and you get there and you find your fucking Easter egg, then that's the love, baby. That's
for real.
What I want.
Yeah.
That's what I want for you.
Awesome.
So, not just for you, bro, but for everybody.
Of course.
Yeah, for everybody out there. So I had my medical marijuana card because I had, cancer, and I broke my back in Afghanistan. So I have chronic pain, I have lower back issues, and everybody's like, well, I have lower back issues. Well, that's okay. You can have your lower back issues. I got my lower back issues, and mine required me to...
It's not a competition.
Mine required me to get a medical marijuana card, both for chronic pain and PTSD and other things. So I smoked weed every day for a long time.
Nice.
And that's another thing I enjoy using my platform for, and why I smoke so much weed is to defeat stereotypes. You know what I mean? People who smoke weed are just lazy. They're unmotivated. They're negative. They don't see straight. They just drool on themselves, and they hallucinate, and they do erratic behavior. Their heart rate goes crazy. Bro, I wear a heart rate monitor, not just to convey my emotion to people, but to also show that when I'm smoking, I'm not wigging out, bro. Like, this is not a dangerous drug. This is not a dangerous substance at all. And the fact that there are still people out there who are against it, but still want to take Xanax and oxycodone
doesn't make sense.
Drink their alcohol and
that doesn't make sense.
Fast. You know what I mean? Like, right. I don't understand any of that. Like, none of that nonsense.
I mean, like, I think we're entering an age now. I mean, if you were to ask me when I was 15 years old, probably the same for you. If that weed would be legal to where we can actually go without a card, just walk into a dispensary around the corner, literally from me, and just get bud. I would have looked at you like you had 17 heads growing out of your neck. Or
just grow 6 plants in your house.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I can grow it now. Like,
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, no, 15 years ago, I would have never seen that happen. I would have never even thought.
It's a new world, man. It's a new world.
Yeah, it's a new world, and I think a lot of people that it changed because of a generational change. You know what I mean? I feel like there is each generation has something about the next generation they dislike, and they always fight. The older generation consistently, and this is not just my opinion. You can go back historically and look at this. The older generation has consistently fought change for future. They've consistently fought change for progress. Right. And if you look at those radical ideas, and they were called radical way back when, if you look at those radical ideas, then they were called radical, but now, like, it's so accepted. Mm-hmm. Let's take, because it's Pride Month, for example, let's talk about being gay. Mm-hmm. Right? Being gay in even today in some places, but more so in like the 90s and 80s that I can speak for myself growing up. Being gay in that time wasn't as accepted as it is now. And it's not because
it was looked down upon by a lot of people.
Right. And I think that's why a lot of people still in our generation use homophobic speech as insults or negative jokes towards some people to make fun of them. Like, for example, I was watching a streamer and they were doing like a really long subathon, whatever. I think they ended up doing like 84 hours or some shit like that.
Holy fuck.
And they were, but they took a nap, like they were sleeping, and like people were talking about, like,
I've done it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But people were talking about like, oh, he's probably thinking about dudes, or he's probably dreaming about cuddling with men or whatever. And to me, I'm like, well, why would you make fun of that if you didn't mean it negatively? You know what I mean? Like, why would you say that if you didn't mean your homophobic speech to be condescending and mean?
Because they meant it. They meant it
They
negatively.
meant it to
Yeah.
be negative, but they disguised it as humor. But because we've been carrying that hate in a vehicle of humor, now we don't see past it as
Right.
being a joke.
Right.
But it's really hateful and it's really hurtful, and it could affect somebody else's mental being.
Mm-hmm.
So I bring it up on my stream sometimes. Nobody ever makes fun of anything heterosexual. Nobody ever makes fun of anything cis white. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's always in a condescending way. We don't say if we don't like something, we don't say you're gay. But if we do like something, we can say that's straight. You know what I mean?
Right.
Think about it. Oh, you straight, you straight, you straight, you straight. But then people will be like, you're gay. That's gay. I'm not doing that. That's gay. You know what I mean? But how is it gay? Is that bad? Is it bad to be gay?
Like how did that
you
term
associate it with something negative? Why would you
Right.
associate it with something negative?
Right.
Because now people who are gay are going to feel that what they are is negative. And I
Yeah.
don't want anyone
It's
to
true.
feel what they are is negative. So
It's
I
true.
just try to think deep about like the source. Like, where did that come from and why are we doing that? And that really comes down to it was a product of our environment. It was our speech. It was
Of
in
course.
our music. It was in our movies. It was in our radio. It was in our parents. It was in our grandparents. It was. This is a generational change. We have to embrace it as an older generation that this is where the children are going to take it. It is fucking fact that children are our future. So we need to look at them, and that's where it's going to go. That's where the future is going to go. Don't fight the change, embrace the change. Don't try to make it better. Don't put your fingers in the pie. Leave your fucking fingers out of their pie. That's the children's pie. Let them do their fucking thing.
Right.
Let them lead the world the way they want to lead the world. Because honestly, I think the younger generation is more focused on people and love and embracing inclusivity as opposed to borders and taxes and
This younger generation.
rules. This younger generation,
Right.
This generation that I'm talking about right now, I'm talking about usually people from 30 and younger, from like all the way back, all the way young as far as 10 years old, people out there making actual changes for the positive in the world. But I think a lot of people in my generation, I'm 41 years old, and my generation covers a lot of the older gamers out there. And the mentality is, why fix what's not broken? But we don't see it as broken, right? We don't see it as broken because we're a product of that environment. We're not looking at it from the outside. We're inside of it. How are we supposed to know that our shit stinks if we've always been smelling the same shit until somebody tells us it stinks?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So we have to look at what they're telling us stinks on us and fucking change it and stop embracing negative traits about ourselves as positive ones just to comfort our ego.
I would say that this generation has kind of been the biggest shift in how can I put this, in like people's
history since the 60s,
in wait right since the 60s and all of that, in accepting people for who they are, because even back then in the 60s, I mean, even though racism still exists today, like let's keep it a billion, it does, but
racism is a cancer in America. You can't just get rid of it.
But back then, even more so, people looked at you. If you were gay, people looked at you and they looked down upon you. If you were black, and
if people looked
they,
like you,
people
they
looked
down
at
on you because
if
of people who look
if
like
you didn't look
know what
like
I mean?
me, then people they would feel a certain kind of way about you. And I feel like now things are starting to kind of change, but unfortunately, racism still exists crazy. And that I think that racism is probably the biggest issue that this country has. And I don't see it changing, because
we can deal a devastating blow to it by accepting the fact that it's not funny. You know what I mean?
Right.
When we accept that it's not funny anymore, then I think we take the positive humor out of it. We got to strip the humor out of all that racism shit.
Right.
Oh, I was just joking. Or I can say it because I'm white. Or I can say it because I'm Mexican or black or Latino or Asian.
Right.
You can't. No, let's just not. Let's just not. Like, let's let it die.
You know what I always say on my streams?
I got history books to keep it alive.
I
You know what
need
I mean?
I need an alien invasion to happen. Real talk, because if an alien invasion happens, then we will all realize, no matter if you like girls or you like guys, or
bro. We call them undocumented persons.
I can't with you,
can't
bro.
Do that shit,
I
bro.
can't with you, bro. We sitting here talking about inclusivity, but you're calling them aliens.
They're not aliens. Stop it.
I hate you, bro. Let's move. I will be here talking to your ass for 3 hours. Okay, let's
talk about this for a while.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You already know how we could do. Let's move on. Let me see what I got here. All right. Let's change gears a little bit. Let's go to video games in general.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite video game of all time?
Of all time?
Maybe from childhood, maybe something that you played recently, something that you just sticks out into your head. This is my fucking jam and always has been.
I think I will always and forever have the most deepest connection with Elder Scrolls Online. I think that even though I don't ever play that game anymore, right? I haven't logged into it in like a year, but I think that even if I got back on it and it's a game I got to do by myself. I can't stream it because it's such an immersive experience for me. Like I love every aspect of it. Excuse me. Every like piece of armor, every weapon, all the names, the spells, different combinations do different. Reading the stories, listening and following along.
You get immersed.
Man, there's no way I would be able to sit and talk to chat and enjoy the game. And that's probably one of the reasons I don't stream it.
I'm assuming you've played Skyrim.
I wish I was as big of an encyclopedia on gaming as most of my peers, but I think I played Skyrim. I don't think I beat it. I did play Morrowind.
Okay.
Which I think was the first. Was that the first one for Elder Scrolls?
Yeah, it was Morrowind, and then it was Oblivion, and then Skyrim. Yeah.
Yeah. So I played Morrowind, and then I played Oblivion for a little while.
Did you beat Morrowind?
Yes.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, I finished it. I absolutely finished it. I had my friend, and I can't really remember his name right now, but I had my friend teach me a spell that would increase the effectiveness of your spells. So as long as you kept doing that spell, then you would always increase the effectiveness of your spells. So your spells would be 100% every time eventually. You just had to do the spell over and over and over until it procced.
Right.
Once it procced, it would proc more often and vice versa. It would compound on how often it would work. And then eventually you would have spells, and the most complicated spells that you could throw out there, and they'd proc every time.
Right.
Every time. So if you needed health, you didn't have to wait. You could just, boom. Got it. If you wanted stamina recovery or magical recovery, you could do spells for it. And
dope.
It ended up making like for speed too. Like you can make your character go like lightning speed across the map. It was ridiculous. You had to be careful with it. Yeah. But I think if I had to pick one game out of all the games that I've played since MS-DOS 500,
wow,
I would have to say Elder Scrolls Online took me in the most.
Interesting. I like it. Okay. What about do you have what is your oldest memory with video games?
MS-DOS 500, Moon Mist, baby.
Moon Mist. Okay.
Moon Mist. It was my very first PC game that I played.
Moon Mist. I gotta look up Moon Mist. Okay.
Yeah, bro. Remember those books when we were kids? They were interactive, and you'd open up the page, and it would be like, move the lamp or go through the door. And if you go through the door, you go to page 46.
Okay.
Lamp, you go to page 32.
Yeah.
It tells you what to do from there. So it's basically like that, but in a text format. There's no graphics in the game whatsoever. It's all reading. And you respond by talking to the AI, which is the computer, basically.
Yeah.
And based on your responses, the AI would pick out certain words, and then it would give you a pre-programmed phrase.
Okay.
As a response. So, it would be like, greet the butler or walk past the butler rudely. Like, those are not any choices.
You may not know the answer to this, but do you know if it was made by a company named Sierra?
No, I don't. I
Okay.
don't know right now, but
Okay.
let me.
The reason why I ask is because there's a great documentary on Netflix called The Video Games That Made Us. And they talk about some of the first PC games. And there was a game made by Sierra. I don't know if it was Moon Miss or not, but what you're saying is kind of exactly how the game is.
It was made by Infocom.
Okay.
September 18th, 1986.
86.
Interactive.
I was
Yeah,
born in
interactive fiction
1986. Holy
computer
crap.
game. I was gaming in 1986.
Dude, wow. Talk about
I was
being a
gaming
fucking
in
gamer.
86. So, this is why I say I've been gaming my whole life, but I'm not an encyclopedia of gaming because at 17, I joined the Army. I was in the Army from 1999 until 2013. And then after that, I was a fucking wild hellion for a few years until I quit all my nonsense, settled down, got with Betty, and now I am the BarronVonCheese that I am proud to be.
14 years in the Army.
Yeah, I spent a long time in there, bro. I got out because I got hurt.
Wow. I don't know shit about like the Army. Did you achieve a certain rank or anything like that?
I was a sergeant.
You were a sergeant.
Just a regular.
Can I call you Sergeant Von Cheese? Can I please do it?
I would prefer not. But
Okay. No. Say less. That's awesome though. That's cool. That's really cool, man.
No, I have a lot of respect for my fellow service members across all branches.
Sure.
But we have a lot of what is that, inter-service rivalry, like competitive spirit within services. But I think I don't really talk about the military that much or details, just because it wasn't like objectively speaking, looking back on the whole, I guess, military machine run by politicians.
Right. Okay.
I don't feel like the military is purposed the way it needs to be purposed. And because that I was a part of that, it kind of hinders my pride for being in the service. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm still proud of what I've done and the things that I did. The people that I met were great. But I think the overall use of
Soldiers.
American military over the last 30 years at least has been grossly misused.
Okay.
I think it costs a lot of young men and women their lives, and it's disgusting to me. So
I got you.
To not get into that our wars are fought over politician pissing contests and the 19.
Yeah, we don't have to dive too deep into it, but I completely, I'm 1,000,000,000% there with you, brother.
Yeah, I watched too many flag draped coffins leave Bagram to be okay with any war ever.
Got you.
I think war and borders should be eradicated. Those are my two number one things that I think would bring about a lot of world peace. It would bring a little unrest in the beginning, but I think overall, if you look back on every single major war, a lot of them, aside from the human rights violations, were fought over borders and territory. I mean,
of course,
if you look at Ukraine and Russia.
It's all about borders. Yeah.
Yeah. If you look at Palestine and Israel, it's all about borders. It's all about, you know what I mean? It's all, the North and South Korea borders.
Yep.
Mexico-American border, the border crisis. It's border crisis. Why are we having fucking borders? There's an imaginary line in the sand. And it has caused so much pain and heartache and financial distress for nations and have closed them off from reaching resources and stability in their lives, healthcare. You know what I mean? Like, we punish people in other areas of the world.
Right.
We, through financial sanctions or whatever, but it's not their leaders that suffer. It's not their leaders that suffer. And when you're dealing with leaders that don't give a shit about their people, which, let's face it, 99.9% of the world leaders out there really don't give a shit about their people, because while their people are eating nothing and don't have clean water, it doesn't affect their lobster bisque breakfast.
Right.
You know what I mean? It doesn't affect their gold chandelier or their chauffeur.
Right.
The fuel prices don't affect how they get around or how they affect. You know what I mean? So
I know.
I think there's a vast disparity of wealth, and there's a vast disparity between classes, let's just say, in America, that I think getting rid of all of that shit would absolutely benefit humankind.
Aliens.
Undocumented.
Undocumented species of humanoid.
Extraterrestrials.
Right. I'm telling you, nothing will matter. How much money you got in your bank account won't matter anymore.
Right.
The color of your skin, your sexual preference, it won't matter anymore.
At the end of the day, we're all just people who are on Earth.
That's
you know
it.
What I mean, I just want to be an Earth citizen. I honestly like. I love where I'm at. I'm not gonna lie. I love being in America.
I'm an Earth citizen. Damn it.
This is where my family is. This is where I was born. I was raised. My roots are here. But I don't want to claim just being an American because this is where I live. Because I think that creates an animosity and a division among the rest of the world. We should all just be, in my opinion, people of Earth. Like we should be Earth citizens. No
Agreed.
borders and no fucking banks and no corruption, no corrupt politicians. And we should just be able to just, I know, in a utopia, I understand in a utopia, this would be all possible, but we don't live in a utopia.
No, we
Realistically, it'll never happen in my lifetime.
No.
It won't happen in my children's or my great-great-grandchildren's lifetime. I hope it does, but it probably won't.
And if one day
people will always they need to do to stay in power. Rich people will always do what they need to do to stay in power.
It's just one of them things to where even if intergalactic travel becomes a thing, let's say 1,000 years from now, and you have it, look at a game. I don't know if you ever played a game or heard of a game called Mass Effect, but there's a game called Mass Effect where you travel through space and you meet different races of extraterrestrials, and all of that. And it's very interesting because in that game there is a form of prejudice toward other species that aren't the same. The game kind of the game puts a mirror to your face, and not so much with skin color, but more so species wise, and it's I feel like no matter how positive we can be, there's always going to be people in power that are going to look down upon those that don't have as much or aren't the same as them, unfortunately.
You know what it's going to take to change that? People who they've tricked to realize they've been tricked. That's it. People who they've tricked realize that they've been tricked.
Right.
Y'all been fucking hoodwinked.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You've been tricked to fight for the man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why? Why are we defending rich, gigantic people like Bezos? Why aren't we pushing for more taxes for these people? Like, why? When they can sit home and sleep for 15 minutes and make $15 million, why are we not adjusting?
Who was it that went to
making them pay their share?
Didn't Bezos or which one went to space? Was it Bezos or Elon Musk? One of them went to space in the spaceship that looked like a big penis.
I don't know. I know Elon Musk owns SpaceX.
Okay, it was. I forgot which one it was.
Rich enough to like own half of space, I think.
I live by a city called Newark, New Jersey, which is one of the most poor cities in the state of New Jersey. Poverty and crime and everything in that area is just it's gone to shit over the past few years. And whichever one of them, I forgot who it is, went to space. It was, I think they said it was like a 5, or it was a number with a 5 and then $1 million after it dollar space exploration thing that they did. You could take that money.
Yes.
You see where I'm going with this? And you can put it into a fucking town like Newark and make it that these kids don't have to get up and the only choice that they have is to fucking sell drugs to make money, because there's literally it's an economy that has failed them. It has failed them, unfortunately.
I think there's too many people in the middle class who've been comfortable with their mediocrity. You know what I mean? Like they say that America is great. And America is the place where your dreams come true if you work hard enough. But I've been alive 41 years, and I don't know one single person that has finally made it to the point where they're not struggling financially.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I was in the Army with literally hundreds of people around me every day, sometimes thousands at different times. Out of 14 years, I've never seen not one single one of them get to a point where they weren't living somewhat paycheck to paycheck, if not negative every month. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think that for a large majority of people out there have been duped to rooting for the wrong team that's not out for them. I mean, how did the trickle down work out, right? How did that work out under that administration? How did it work out? Where are we at right now? Are you guys getting that trickle down? Because I don't see it. I don't see anybody else.
I'm not seeing it either.
Getting that trickle down. You know what I mean? I remember getting like $150 extra in my VA check when that trickle down first came in. You know, but then that's like saying to the rich guys, to the Bezos, hey, we're going to give you $50 million extra every year, but you got to pay your employees more. But are they paying us more? Or are we having to fight and unionize?
Nope.
Exactly.
Minimum wage is still like $7.50 or something like that.
In a lot of places. In a lot of places, you cannot have a livable wage on minimum wage.
Of course not. Especially with inflation and gas prices, forget about it.
Why? Here's the thing. This is why I believe that a lot of middle class are in a contradictory funk. Listen to this. Middle class America has fueled, we'll call them number 45, to go to the top. Middle class America has come out in full force in this person, number 45's trickle down theory, his tax breaks for the corporate America, cutting environmental policies and whatnot, and has tricked these middle class people into allowing their employers to have more money at the end of the year given to them by the federal government. And their workload has not changed. It's always increased, and their demand for productivity has increased.
Right.
Because they come home and complain about how they hate their job. Fuck, I got to get up and go to work. I hate Mondays.
Right.
You know what I mean? Fuck this job. I wish I could just quit and do what I want to do. But you're fighting policies that are beneficial for your class.
Right.
Like why are we not recognizing what policies would benefit a middle class society the most, instead of saying I had to work hard for it, so now you have to work hard for it?
Right.
You can't have that benefit because somebody I don't like might get it.
And trust, a lot of those people didn't have to work hard from it. They inherited it.
Right, but then there's a lot of those people who are still working in the steel mill, who are still working in the oil fields, who are still fucking backbreaking, doing that dog sweat.
Kim Kardashian didn't have to work hard for it.
No. But those aren't the people I'm talking about. Those aren't the people that fueled 45. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying.
The ones that are out there doing this.
I see what you're saying.
Arguing against policies they're keeping them in the class that they're in.
Right.
Because they won't let those policies that will help them pass because of the team that was proposing them. Do you see what they won't look past? It's now a team sport. This is why America is embarrassing to me lately, is because all of our politics, our democracy, everything else has become just a media driven like team sport.
Right.
It's Giants versus the Jets.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right. It's us versus everybody else, and it really does.
Yankees versus Red Sox. It's
right. Go Yankees.
It's a rivalry now. It's not anything more than my team has to win no matter what. And if my team got caught cheating, then I'm just going to pretend that they didn't deflate that ball.
Right.
You can't prove that they did it just because I said it, and I'll vote for him anyway, even if he did do wrong, just because you don't like it. That's my team. You know what I mean? You got to have loyalty to you, not your fucking politician.
It makes no sense.
That's the biggest mind manipulation that I've ever seen come across America. I listen, honestly, 100%. I'm embarrassed to say it now, but I was I was like hard Trump supporter in the beginning when he joined. I'm like, let's give this dude a chance. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah.
And then I was disappointed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A lot of people were.
And I switched. I didn't switch teams. I switched to my own team, myself. I started looking out for my policies and my fellow people's policies, human policies, policies that help people, regardless of where they're at in life. If they're poor, if they're, a minority, if they're feeling depressed and they need mental health, I think a lot of that shit would be beneficial to put money into instead of trying to take money out. You know what I mean? I'm pro-choice. I think that abortions are 100% necessary. You know what I mean?
Same.
It's
Same.
100%. It's absolutely something that should not even be a question yet. We have people in power who have say over this.
Like I've always been the type of
They
person.
have say over it's wrong.
If first off, I feel like if you have a dick, you have no say on that. Period. You don't, and you don't have the right to have that say because it has nothing at all to do with you. Okay. I understand the need for right. If we're gonna talk politics real quick, okay. I understand. I understand the need for right and left. I understand the need for conservatism
Because balance.
and because there has to be some kind of balance. But then there are certain subjects that it just no fucking brainer. If a 12-year-old girl gets raped by a crackhead and gets pregnant, she should be able to have a fucking abortion. What are we talking about right now? And I don't understand how there are people who are so far right and so conservative and just right, exactly. They can't even see the logic of that. Is what it blows my mind.
They're forcing their own particular morals and beliefs through religion and Judeo-Christian opinion on other people who don't necessarily follow their little book club.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they believe that life is precious. I understand, but the fact that we need a separation of church and state more desperately than we have needed it in all of humankind. Like we need religion to be its own thing.
Yes.
It should not be a factor in anything political or leading
Agreed.
existence. It's
Agreed.
no more than a guideline to be a good person. It's
Thank
not a
you.
fanatical shit.
Thank
This is not
you.
anything that needs organization. If you need organization for religion, you're part of the problem.
We need the 10 commandments so people don't know to go and fucking kill somebody or to go to have sex with your neighbor's wife. Like it's needed. It's needed. However,
I don't need to give 10% of my income or let it influence my political agenda. You know what I mean? I don't need to give like a guaranteed set amount of money to these people to them to have it.
You're giving your 10%.
Learjet, so they can buy
exactly
their Learjet.
Exactly.
So they don't have to ride economy.
Exactly.
First class. Fuck out of here.
There's no reason for me to pull up. There's no reason for me to pull up to church in a 1999 Camry and the pastor is rolling up in a 2022 Tesla.
Yeah, if you don't see the hypocrisy of religion, then you are part of the problem.
Like I understand the need for it. However, there are certain subjects
I can teach my kid to be a good person without Jesus.
That's it.
I don't need a book to tell me how to teach my kid right from wrong. I don't need a pastor or a priest to absolve me of my sins to make me feel better. I can forgive myself. I don't need any. I'm not part of that book club. It's okay if you are. I understand that some people need that shit. That's okay. Be meditative with it. Love
and
it.
That's okay. And that's okay. But there are people who use it against.
Right. The second you try to inflict that on somebody else, you immediately have to look at yourself in the mirror and understand that there are other religions that you disagree with,
right,
that are trying to force themselves on you. And
correct.
This is why religion as a whole is a big, huge fucking problem.
How many religious wars have there been in the history of the world? All of them. All of them.
How many get their victories in the name of the Lord? How many prayers do you see before we leave the wire in Afghanistan? How many of that? It's done. It's just, we have chaplains.
Right.
You know how hard it was to get a Wiccan chaplain when I was in the military? You know how hard it was to find, because I had a Wiccan soldier and I needed to cater to his religious needs. That's my duty. That's part of what I needed to do. So I had to go to the chaplain and find out, hey man, I got a guy who's Wiccan. Can we get a Wiccan service? And they were so against it because it wasn't like the cross. It wasn't God.
It wasn't Christianity.
It wasn't there. It didn't fit within their standards. So this is the problem we run into. If you're resistant to other religions,
I feel like it just everything we're talking about, it just keeps coming back to the aliens. I'm telling you, whatever book that you read from that makes you feel better about where you go when you die, none of that shit's gonna matter when the aliens come.
Right. Well, maybe it will. If they believe it, there's no harm in letting me believe it, as long as they're not hurting. The thing is that they do hurt others. They do manipulate others. They do discriminate against others. They do hate other groups.
Yes.
This is not anything where you can say that religion in a whole is good for people, because in every religion, there's 50% of those motherfuckers that just want to hurt other people that don't believe in what they believe in.
Right.
So I think as a whole, it's been corrupted. Organized religion as a whole has been so corrupted to the point where it needs to go away.
To round up this issue, because this is something that I can talk about for a long time. To round out this issue.
This is a great episode.
Oh,
this is what I would love to do on my stream, is be able to talk about these things, but I don't want to, like,
I got you.
It's hard to be able to do that with somebody that you have to read text from.
It's hard to do that on your stream and then also say, I want to be a release for people. I want people to come to my stream and not have to worry about the craziness of the world. But then they come into your stream and we're talking about this. Right. Exactly.
Right. No, these are all things that I'm glad we're talking about, because like you said, that's it's an environment in which I create. I want my streams to be a positive, like, a release, a positive place you can come and figuratively or literally let your hair down.
I got a question for you in regards to that. If you never started streaming, let's say your back isn't fucked up, right? And you never started streaming, what do you think you'd be doing professionally for money?
In my area, I would be a truck driver.
Okay.
Yeah, I would just drive truck. That would be the easiest job for me to do.
Okay. Are you cool with having those hours away from the family?
No, not at all. That's why I'm here.
Okay.
That's why I'm here. That's why that's why I'm an advocate for human and not profit. You know what I mean? Because you should do what you love, regardless of what the money is.
I love it.
If you can do what you love, do it. Fucking do it.
Here's one for you. What is a special trait or skill you have that not many people know about?
I can do this.
I can't do that. I can't do what he's doing.
I can do it.
Yeah, no, it's like my muscles don't work that way in my face. That's
my special skill.
Okay, I got you. Has a video game ever made you cry?
Okay. All right. So recently I got an Oculus, right? And I didn't know any games to download. Number one, if you own the Oculus and you play the Oculus, you're probably going to sweat a lot when you play it because it makes you work out. So it's pretty cool. But I downloaded this game called Apollo Creed, right? And I am a huge Rocky fan.
Same.
Core. I can watch Rocky over and over.
What's your favorite? Which one?
The first one. The first one and the last one. I love the first one. I love the last one. And I love everything in between for its own individual reasons.
The last one as in...
Rocky 5.
Really?
6. Was it the Balboa? Whatever it was.
Rocky Balboa when he came back as older. Yeah. He gave a great speech to his son in that movie.
Yes. So the reason he has such an impact on me because I can relate to the struggle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he has a way, or his writing has a way, his character has a way of just getting in me. You know what I mean? Because my whole life has been just like fighting upstream. My whole life has been upstream.
Trials and tribulations.
Always. It has always been a struggle. And the fact that I've had to keep fighting every day, that gets me. That gets me now. Like, thinking about it now, I get emotional because you fight every day. If you have depression, you fight every day.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You fight that feeling. You got to remind yourself that when that creeps up, that's just like the addiction. Fight it. So when he's like, fight, like, it gets me, the music, you know what I mean?
It's very epic. It's epic.
So if you could picture me in the Oculus, like completely drenched in my sweat, going like this to somebody, and he's like, get him. He's like yelling in your ears. Sylvester Stallone is. It just was overwhelming, bro. It got me for like a whole second.
Did it? Did it really? Nice.
Yeah, it got me, bro. It got me.
I like it.
And it's because I can relate to his character so hard and having to like fight. I remember watching those movies and be like, I'm just gonna be a boxer now. I'm just gonna go be a boxer. Like, it's just so inspiring, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? But I try to relate that kind of fight, that motivation, that undying, like, you'll never fucking get me type shit to
Yeah.
everything that I don't want to get me. You know what I mean?
I love it. I love it. Awesome. Okay. Let me see. If you had to pick only one game to play for the rest of your life, what game would it be?
Oh my god, I don't know. I don't know, bro. I really don't know.
Is that
If
too
you would have
much?
asked me 3 months ago, it would have been
It's
Splitgate.
Splitgate, but now probably Fortnite.
No, it's not Fortnite. I
It's
know it
not.
won't be forever. Now I know. I know. Now I know. Honestly, because I really was all I am. I still am all Splitgate. I fucking love that game. I love watching it. I love
It's
the
awesome.
community. I love that the devs listen to the community and they take action to benefit their game so that way they can cater to their audience that enjoys playing that game. There's not very many games out there that do that. You know what I mean? Even though I don't play Splitgate anymore, like, I fucking love Splitgate. Just like I love Elder Scrolls, just like I love the Fortnite no build. Before Fortnite no build, I would have never I would have never even installed Fortnite.
Same. I mean,
Never
well,
even installed.
I was playing Fortnite last year with Griffin, and this is why I love doing these, because Griffin last week, one of the questions I was like, "Is there a game that everybody loves that you hate?" And he was like, "Fortnite," and I said, "What?"
Yeah, I seen that.
What?
I seen that.
Even
He played Fortnite
with
me.
yeah, like we had great times. But he was just like, the moments were great, but you'll never see me just kick that game up. It's very very interesting. Do you have a favorite? You may have answered this. Do you have a favorite game series of all time?
No.
No.
No, GTA. I would say GTA.
GTA.
If I had
Okay.
to pick a series.
Okay.
GTA.
Cool.
Yeah, because I was there. I was there for the first Rockstar. When Rockstar dropped the first GTA, it was
Overhead camera.
God tier. It was god tier, bro.
Yeah.
It was the open world concept was something in dreams. Like,
Never seen it before.
And the fact that people were swearing,
Yeah.
like, that was like, holy, like, the video game just said fuck.
Yeah. The video game said
prostitute.
fuck.
Yeah, you can pick up prostitutes.
Yes.
You can just shoot people on the street for no reason. Like, I can
Yeah.
go into the bank. I can go, like, it was
Yeah.
it was amazing.
We'd never seen anything like GTA 3 that came out on PS2. The first two Grand Theft Autos were overhead, and it was
Remember Driver?
hell
on
fucking
PlayStation?
yeah. I
Driver
love
on
Driver.
PlayStation was similar, but it still had like a restrictive map.
Yeah.
It had a wider map, but it was restrictive, so it could keep you on its campaign. Where a GTA took that completely away.
Yeah.
It made it you were your own character. If you didn't want to do a campaign for 2 weeks, you could just walk around and drive vehicles and.
You know something that I think that you would love, brother? Unfortunately, you need a very powerful PC for it. The GTA role-playing shit.
Oh man, I've heard that before.
Oh, dude, all you need to do is just go on Twitch and look at GTA and just look at some of the role playing.
I
Dude,
see a lot of the TikTok videos.
I've seen people, bro. I was watching and there was a actual court case happening because somebody had rolled up on someone else from another gang and shot him, and it did it in front of the police, who were also everyone in the server's people. So you have a judge, you have lawyers, you have the plaintiff and the
it's all
defendant,
real.
you have all of these people who are sitting in the pews, and it's all real people. It's the most mind-boggling shit ever, and I think that you would be the perfect weed man in that game, bro. Because I've seen it. Dude, it's nothing like anything you've ever seen before. All right, I got two more of the streaming and gaming questions, and then we're gonna go to the speed round.
Okay.
The first one is: are there any I think you said this already. Are there any popular streamers, 1,000 viewers and up, that you enjoy watching?
Asmongold.
Okay, gotcha.
Asmongold. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not like a fanboy, right? Because I can recognize that he's just a person doing what he loves to do.
Sure.
But the fact that he is a person that just is doing what he loves to do.
It's amazing.
It's to me like that would be me. If I had to compare myself, like what I would want to envision myself as a streamer, I think Asmongold and I are like this.
Nice.
Like I think in a lot of ways we're more alike, and only I know that because Asmongold doesn't know me.
If Asmongold knew you, he'd be like, "Oh, me and that guy."
Yeah, no, 100%. He would be like, "We're bros.
Yeah.
We're celestial twins. Like
You're my
we're
spirit
from the
animal.
same rib."
That's
You
it.
know what I
Right,
mean? Like,
exactly.
yeah. Like he does what I wish I could do. Like he can afford to be a minimalist.
He also has years in the game.
Yes, no doubt, no doubt. But I love that he's so simple with everything that he does.
You know who I really, really enjoy watching? I like watching Pokimane.
Oh, okay.
I like watching Pokimane because Pokimane, number one, Pokimane is very classy. And she doesn't use the fact that she's a girl and to she doesn't wear low cut shit. It's not about that with her. Pokimane is just a very genuine girl. You can tell that she's a really nice person and really does love her community. And she has almost 10 years in the game, and she averages over 10K easy. Right. And I love watching Pokey because for some reason, when I sit and I just watch a Pokey stream, I feel like I'm just watching my friend just talk.
Right. Yeah, that's what separates a good streamer from a great streamer.
Right.
You know what I mean? Being able to connect with people individually.
Right.
But it's on that same note and understanding that it's a everyone's journey is different milestones and different times, you know, like
right.
I watched Biggie Sweats as a partner.
He's great
right now.
He's great. World of Warcraft
he's
guy.
A really cool guy. He's super hype and everything. Yeah. He started streaming like 2 months before I did. You know what I mean? And when he was making that push to partner, I was dropping the hashtag in the socials and I was pushing and we were raiding each other and everything like that. And that's he can talk to everybody in chat almost at the same time. Not only because he's got a good mod team, but because I think he has the ability to read and react to chat while gaming that most people don't.
Do you think that's the difference between you two and why he blew?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all.
What do you think? Because I watch his streams and again he's good and he's sometimes he's 200-300 people in chat.
Yeah. No, it was a ticket, bro. It was a ticket. The guy is a hype. He's a hype wizard. I'm not gonna lie. You can't be in his chat and interact with him and not feel some type of hype.
Yeah, some people just got it.
He's got that. And he was able to rally a community. He didn't just build the community. He's continuing to build his community and his team.
Right.
But he didn't just build it. He rallied it. He became a leader and he chose his destiny and he fucking went for it. Like that's what he did. He didn't pay attention to the hate because trust me, he got it and he still gets it. But he just was like, bro, let's do this together. And everybody just rated him every fucking day. Everybody had him tagged. Everybody was there, you know? And he was like, hey, can I count on you to be there? He was an advocate for himself a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Nice.
And I think that's why.
And it's not that's not even selfish. It's not selfish to be an advocate for yourself or to want other people to come.
My friend to succeed.
Of course, right, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, if your viewers went up to like 200 tomorrow, I would be nothing but happy for you, bro. Like, that would be great. That's what we all want.
Same.
So, I don't know.
I'd be in your DMs like, hey, what's good with the raid? But no, I'm just playing. Yeah. The point is to just be happy for your friends, man. That's it.
Right. I think a lot of that. I think a lot of the mentality of small streamers is that they will stay small, and in a lot of cases that may be true, right? But
trust me, with that mentality, you'll stay small.
Yeah, if you always stay small, if you always think small, you'll be small.
Correct.
You know, and if you aim small, you'll miss small. So if you aim for a star, you know what I mean? Let's say, for example, you want to have 1,000 people consistently every single stream. That's a star. That's just aiming there, bro. That's where I'm going. But let's say you stop somewhere around like 700 or like 500. Mm-hmm. You still achieve so much. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I think that when people make partners, this is just to like sidestep a little bit because I thought of a point and I don't want to forget it.
Sure.
So I think once people make partner, a lot of people who were supporting them and giving them reads and giving them hosts no longer do that because they think that they've made it. So they're going to move on to the next streamer to help them meet partner.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people see that once someone in your community has made partner, then that means they've stopped working for their goals. They've stopped trying to grow. They've stopped trying to like get subs or do content or anything like that because they've made partner and they don't need any more help.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and don't get me wrong, it is important to support the small streamer, but it's also important for the community to still recognize that person as part of their community.
Right.
As just as important.
Just because you made partner doesn't mean you got to stop going to their stream.
Well, yes. I mean, you don't never have to go to anybody's stream, but that doesn't mean that because you were before, that shouldn't be the reason you don't.
Oh, right. That's what I meant.
You know what I mean?
That's what I meant.
That's what I mean. So, and that shoe also fits on the other side. You know what I mean? Like partners shouldn't become partner and then forget the people who decided to help them
right
on their journey to go to partner, and then just continue to try to reach for the next rung without trying to bring your community with you. So
always remember where you came from and remember the people that helped you get to where you are.
Remember those people that help fuel you, bro.
Sure.
That's where it's going to be.
100%, man.
That's your core. And it's not always the people that were dropping 500,000 biddies or 50 subs at a time. It's real hard to give those people that type of attachment. You know what I mean? But you have to look at people who are not just spending money in your stream, but who are always in your stream.
Correct.
Who are always promoting you, not just on Twitch, but off Twitch, whether it be a retweet or a comment on your post or, you know what I mean? Or a share of your TikTok. Those people who are pushing like hashtag Generico NJ for partner. You know what I mean? If they're pushing that, then those are the people that you should be bringing back, not just leaving off to the side and that's I think what creates a lot of problems and friction between small streamers and big streamers is that big streamers want to help other big streamers because now they're big and they want to get bigger, and small streamers want to help other small streamers get big. You see there's disconnect in there. If we all come together as a streaming community and not just your community and that community. This is why I say the umbrella of the VonCheese army. It's not just me being, like wanting to put my brand on it. But when I say the VonCheese army, I want to create such a wide umbrella of positive streaming team. You know what I mean? I don't want to use that as a stream team. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to look at myself as a leader, as more of an organizer. I want everyone to come together and find themselves, find each other, find their community within a community.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Like under the VonCheese army, you know that those people are going to be positive.
Agreed.
Like Generico, you know what I mean? Like you're always in my stream. Griffin is always in my stream. These are people who are like me. So if you like the outlook that I have, you like my personality, chances are you're going to like those people as well. So,
right.
I don't know. I'm just kind of letting my mind just tell me what to say. I don't think about it, bro. I'm just letting it go. So this
has been amazing so far, bro. Amazing. I think people are really, really going to enjoy this one. The last question before I throw some rapid fire shit at you, my good sir.
Ready.
Would you give up video games for life and receive $1 million in cash, or would you refuse the money?
And I could never play any game, but I could still create content? Like because I can stream and not play games.
No video game, no Twitch. $1 million. No Twitch, no video.
I would say no.
I'll up it to $5 million.
Yeah, I would have to say
still no.
Honestly, and it's not just because it's a great sum of money, because don't get me wrong.
It could change your life.
In a lot of ways, I would say yes, because $5 million would change my life, and then I could just
watch
people play without playing myself. And
on a 95-inch OLED LED screen, and with your beautiful Tesla Tesla sitting in the driveway
100% with whatever I want on
with
my tennis
literally
court.
whatever you want on in exactly. And you can do that
With
because
my white tigers, I could do that.
with my white tigers. Yes, bro. $5 million, no more Twitch, no more video games.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, because and if I have to look at it from a completely logical standpoint, because the ethical is like still at a conundrum, but from a logical standpoint, what I can make as a Twitch streamer is far more than whatever you tell me. You would have to go like 100 million.
Yeah.
Like that at that point, then I would have to probably consider it.
Of course.
50 million, probably I would consider it.
I'd consider it too.
I have to think.
Be a fool not
I
to.
have to think like I can succeed past that.
Right. And there is a correct answer to that question. Yeah. And the correct answer is by taking the money, I'm selling myself short.
Right.
Because I'm saying to myself that I wouldn't be able to make that. And that is the small streamer mentality. Yeah. Right there. So by refusing it, you have faith in yourself that you can get that and exceed it. Right?
Yeah, eventually. I believe that eventually. I believe that the universe will reward me with that eventually. I'm just going to continue, honestly, being the most insanely good person as I possibly can.
Absolutely.
And I will have faith. I will have faith that the universe will reward me with that. And the community will grow. The VonCheese army will become a literal VonCheese army. We'll have a fucking 5-day music festival once a year in the middle of July. You know what I mean?
VonCheese Fest.
VonCheese Fest. It'll fucking happen. And it won't be because of me, right? It'll be because of everybody else. It'll be everybody else around me. You know, like if I just be what you want to attract.
That's it.
That's be what you want to attract.
Be what you want to attract. That's if you get nothing, and I'm talking to the viewer, if you get absolutely nothing from this conversation we're having, just get that. Be who you want to attract.
Right. If you want genuine, you have to be genuine.
Correct.
If you want nice, you have to really be nice. If
right.
you don't want drama, you have to not be drama.
Correct.
You know what I mean? You have to cut it out and not participate in it and not, because I see a lot of streamers, they get so stressed because of the drama they put themselves in by inserting their opinion where it's not needed.
Correct.
That's generally the cause of a lot of conflict. Somebody puts their opinion in somewhere that someone else doesn't agree with, and all of a sudden it's a shit fest, he said, she said nonsense all over Twitter. We see it all the time.
Yes, right? Absolutely.
So I think that if you're going to build a solid community, you can't even allow it. I got to have zero tolerance for drama. If just in my community, if anybody starts like drama where somebody's feeling harassed or uncomfortable, it's an instant ban. You're gone. There's
absolutely.
No second chance. There's no nothing, because you've got to protect your community at all costs.
I've banned people for less.
Yes, absolutely. You have to. You have to, because a bad attitude is just as contagious as a good one. And the longer you let a bad apple stay, the more they're going to infect somebody else. And when you finally do let that bad apple go, other people are going to go with that bad apple because you've allowed them to stay in long enough to create their own community of bad apples.
Ooh, bars, my God. Can we get a beat in the background? Nice, brother. Listen, BarronVonCheese, everybody, I told you. I told you. I don't know what I told you, but I told you it, and you believe it now.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So I have 15 rapid fire speed round questions. And then after that, it's going to be 5 rapid fire edgy questions. Are you ready to go, my good sir?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Here we go. Number 1, Splitgate or Fortnite?
Fortnite.
Number 2, hot dogs or hamburgers?
Hot dogs.
Number 3, swim or fly?
Fly.
Number 4, Instagram or TikTok?
TikTok.
Number 5, no internet or no cell phone?
No internet.
Number 6, Netflix or Hulu?
Hulu.
Number 7, summer or winter?
Summer.
Number 8, vacation or staycation?
Staycation.
Number 9, Sonic or Mario?
Oh, Mario.
Number 10, Android or iPhone?
Android.
Number 11, boxers or briefs?
Commando.
Number 12, zombie apocalypse or vampire apocalypse?
Zombies.
Number 13, Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
Number 14, cook or be cooked for?
Cook.
Number 15, Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees?
Jason Voorhees.
Nice, bro. Nice. Very good. Very good. And to finish the BarronVonCheese episode of the Streamer Showcase, we have the 5 bonus edgy questions. Are you ready, my good sir?
I am ready.
Here we go. Number 1, X videos or Pornhub?
Pornhub.
Number 2, Joe Biden, yay or nay?
Nay.
Number 3, booty or boobies?
Booty.
Number 4, remove world hunger or remove world violence?
World violence.
Number 5, guns or no guns?
Guns.
My brother. Congratulations, bro. You went through it. You did it. I love you, homie. Dude, promote yourself right now. Do it. And everyone, everything this man says right now, do it. Go follow it. Bro, the floor is yours.
Yo, thank you so much for having me, man. I appreciate
Of course.
being here. I appreciate everything you do. Generico, you're a fucking real homie. For real, 100%. Yo, and I'm here to, like, he says the floor is mine, so I'm going to use it to promote Generico. Yo, Generico is live noon, Monday through Friday. He starts at noon. He's usually done by, like, 3 p.m., 4 p.m. Eastern. He plays a lot of retro games. He's a variety gamer. His background is hella toy. He likes the VonCheese Army merch, so that's always a plus. And if you're looking for me, someone who might be a little bit of a weirdo, sometimes I'm awkward. I don't talk a lot in my streams, but I try to. If you talk, I talk.
That's cap. That's a bunch of cap right there. You do talk, bro.
I talk when I'm talked to, I guess. I think that's part of one of the things I struggle with mostly.
Okay.
Talking when nobody's talking.
Okay.
That's honestly one of the biggest streamer struggles I think a lot of people have. But aside from that, not to get back into that, but I'm live Monday through Friday. You can catch me on BarronVonCheese, baby. Come be part of the VonCheese.
Absolutely, man. Everybody, the links will be below for you to go follow this man. Please do me a favor, do him a favor, and go and do it and support him. Any last words before we wrap up, brother?
No, man, keep on keeping on. Be awesome and be what you want to attract. You know what I mean? Be what you want to attract. Create your own environment.
100%.
Good attitude is just as contagious as a bad one. So be a good one.
Absolutely, man. We'll catch you guys next week with a new streamer. Everybody have yourselves an amazing one. Generico NJ signing out. We're out of here.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
This is the love making.